Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to another session of the whiteboard. Today we're going to talk about the 3S of high performance. What is high performance? High performance is the ability to consistently live your life like a sprinter rather than a marathon runner. It's about you it's all about you getting projects, tasks, and being able to sustain short spurts of full focus, full concentration, and then recovering in between. Now, when it comes to this, we've got three A's that are very vital when it comes to high performance. The first one here is what we call systems. Most people set goals, but goals are outcomes. Goals are after effects. You have more control over your actions than the outcome. And the majority of people that set goals always end up failing. The most successful people are people that set up systems. For example, what is a system? A system is a repeatable process that guarantees your outcome. A system is a repeatable process that makes your outcome inevitable. For example, if you want to lose weight, it's easy for most people to set goals and say, I'm going to lose 12 kilos in 12 weeks. Now, you have no control if you're going to be able to lose 12 kilos in 12 weeks. But what you have control over is how many times you're going to go to the gym. How many meals are you going to eat? Which kinds of meals are you going to eat? How many hours are you going to be able to sleep? Those are things that you can control. How can you prepare your meals? Now, those are systems. Because if you get systems into place, if you can set time aside in the week for you have set time aside for food shopping. For example, you decide that every Saturday is a day where you shop food for the whole week. Sunday is the day that you prepare meals for the whole week. Then the next system here is packaging those meals based on how much food you're going to eat in each meal of the week. Now, that becomes a system. And then you set your timetable, you set your schedule. How many times a week are you going to go to the gym, and what specific time are you going to go to the gym? And when you go to the gym, what structure, what program are you going to use? Now, that becomes a system. Whether you focus on losing 12 kilos in 12 weeks is irrelevant, because if you do these things, if you stick to your blueprint, if you stick to the system, the chances of you losing 12 kilos in 12 weeks are much higher than somebody that sets goals and focuses on 12 weeks, but they don't know what they need to do in between here. They have no idea what to eat. They have no idea when they're going to train. They have no idea how often they're going to cook. They have no idea what time they go to bed. They have no idea how many hours of sleep do they get from Monday to Friday. So systems becomes the most important thing that we need to bring in when you want to become a consistent high performer. And my other definition of a high performing person here is you consistently getting high results. The outcome is always positive. You have to be a high performing person by guaranteeing the outcome that you want, either to your clients, either to your employer, either to your family, or if you guarantee those results to yourself. The second S here is sleep. Most people treat sleep as if it's a luxury. Sleep is not a luxury. Sleep is the only time that your brain can be able to get out all the neurotoxins. When you don't sleep enough, you cannot focus. And if you cannot focus, it means your concentration is low, and that automatically affects your productivity. There's a big difference between being busy and being productive. A busy person is constantly doing something. But if you ask them at the end of the day, what did you achieve today? Majority of people won't tell you a thing. Ask any of the three people that are around you and ask them, what did you achieve today? Listen to most people, they tell you how hectic their day has been, how busy their life is. But if your life is busy and your life does not improve, then it means you're not being productive. Productivity is the key here. People talk about sleeping between 7 and 9 hours a day. It's not how long you sleep. The quality of sleep is very important. There are people that can spend a lot of time in bed, but they're not sleeping. They're turning. They're turning left and right. They are in bed, but they're busy watching television. They are in bed, but they're constantly deep in their head thinking. They are in bed, but they're rushing to the loo constantly because they're eating wrong. The quality of sleep is more important than how long you sleep. Because for your brain to be able to clean and cleanse itself, you need to have the proper REM. If you're not sleeping, if you're not getting into deep sleep, you cannot be able to focus, you cannot be able to be productive. And if you're not productive in this life, unfortunately, your life is not going to improve. We don't get paid for how much we work or how hard we work. This is no longer an effort-based economy. It is an outcome-based economy. It is a result-based economy. People don't pay you for how many hours you're at work. People pay you for the outcome. What have you achieved in the time that you've been here? Treat yourself as a consultant. A consultant does not go to a customer and say, you know what, I spent sleepless nights finishing this document. The customer is not interested. All the customer is interested in, I gave you a scope. In these 2 hours, I want you to give me a document of 2,000 words. Whether it takes you the whole night, whether it takes you 2 days, whether it takes you 20 days, it's irrelevant because the customer is going to pay you based on the outcome that he expects from you. So sleep becomes one of those things that most of us, unfortunately, don't really understand. You have to sleep. Don't wear a lack of sleep as a badge of honor on your sleeve, and you keep on telling people, you know what, I don't need sleep. I only sleep 4 hours. I'll sleep when I'm dead. People that talk like that, I can guarantee you, chances of them suffering from lifestyle diseases are much, much higher, and chances of you being productive at work are very, very low. Remember, anything that we do, we have to think of the outcome that we want. You have to keep on telling yourself, what is the best, quickest, most efficient, effective way of me getting the result that I want in this project? Then number 3 here is stress. This is what we call Eustress, positive stress. When we talk about stress, most people look at stress as being negative. If you live a life that has no stress, you're not going to progress. If you don't lift weights, your body will disintegrate. If there was no stress on your heart is not going to be able to pump blood through your body. You took a hot shower this morning. There has to be stress in the shower head for it to splash that water over your body. The biggest problem is not stress. The biggest problem is not being able to recover from stress. And for example here is, if I decide that I'm going to train very heavy at a very high intensity for 7 days a week without recovery, how will my body respond? My joints will start having problems. My appetite is going to go. I will start struggling to fall asleep. And above everything else, my cortisol is going to go up. And rather than building muscle, my body fat percentage is going to go up. Is it the stress that causes those negative side effects from me training heavy? It's not the stress. It is the lack of recovery. And most of us don't like to recover consistently. We think by consistently just keep on pushing without taking recovery that we are doing more. You do more by taking a step back so that you can be able to take 2 steps forward. So it is better for you to learn to take 1 step back, recover, eat well, sleep, let your brain rejuvenate, and then be able to push harder going forward where you cover bigger distance in the shortest time possible. So to be a high performing individual in any area of your life, you want to be a high performing executive, you want to be a high performing employee, you want to be a high performing husband, you want to be a high performing wife. Unfortunately, there's no way you're going to get to that state until you submit yourself to these simple principles. Which of these do you resonate with? What do you struggle with, and how can we help you? If there's anybody out there that you know that is suffering from any of this, don't be shy to share. Like our content, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Click on the link below and take the questionnaire. God bless and see you soon.